It'll just cost money.
Cost money, and they can cheat and steal our stuff.
They do.
So these tariffs have a purpose to make us safer and stronger. And we've been talking about China. We've been talking about getting ripped off. I want to thank you and President Trump for doing something about it. Is it fair to say there are a lot of people who would like to talk to you about new trade deals?
That is definitely true.
Okay, I can tell you the major car companies in Germany came over here and met with the president. Are you aware of that?
I was in the room.
They make BMWs in South Carolina, Volvo. They make Mercedes in Alabama. And they talked to you about making more of the car in America, didn't they?
Oh, they offered almost $100 billion in investment in America.
So thank you to those car companies.
Absolutely right.
The American dream is to own a German car.
As long as it's made in, if it's made in South Carolina,
Yeah,
that sounds
right.
fine to me.
I own one. Bubba makes wheels, BMW. So what you've done is you've got people to come here and talk to us differently. They're talking about making the engine now in South Carolina, right?
That is correct.
They're talking about more content in South Carolina.
That is correct.
And this export credit makes sense to me. That 70% of the cars, 60% made in South Carolina, are sold overseas. That helps our balance of trade. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. So this is working, folks.
I
Some
agree.
of the tariffs, maybe I'll have a problem with, but what you're doing, good. You're telling people, if you rip us off, you're going to pay a price. Stop poisoning America. Stop cheating. Stop closing your markets. Now, do you know that China and India buy 70% of oil from Russia?
I do.
Do you think it is helpful for China to buy cheap Russian oil to keep the Putin war machine going? Is that a good thing for China to be doing?
Doesn't sound good to me.
Good. I'm going to give you another example of how we can use tariffs. We want peace. We're not out to humiliate Putin, but we want to stop the killing. To China, you're propping up Putin's war machine. You're the largest purchaser of his cheap oil. You're providing component parts to his military. You want to be normal? Act normal. We have legislation in the Senate that would have put a 500, make you look weak, Howard, 500% tariff on any country that props up Putin's war machine. And we'll have a carve out for any country helping Ukraine. You're good to go. So China, if you want to avoid tariffs, help Ukraine. This is coming, Howard. We've had it with this war. I appreciate President Trump talking to Putin, sending Witkoff over, trying to make it a win-win. He ain't interested in peace. So the Senate is ready to roll. And to our friends in China, if you keep helping Putin and propping up his war machine, we're going to hit you hard because you're destabilizing the world. You're putting our nation at risk. You're rewarding bad behavior. And we're going to extend the concept President Trump started. If you're screwing America and you're making the world an unsafe place, we're coming after you. Thank you, Howard, for all you do.
Thank
Senator Van, we have votes at 11:45, which is fast approaching. We'll have a second round of, as soon as Lindsay leaves, only the people in this room.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, and I do hope we will vote soon if we don't see any progress toward peace on the Graham-Blumenthal legislation. So I want to follow up on Senator Kuhn's questions with respect to the deal with the UAE, NAI.
Sure.
Because I know you share our concerns about diffusion of technology to China. In fact, you're doing a number of things in your department to try to crack down on exports of very sensitive items. I think we need to go into this very clear-eyed. I mean, the UAE has conducted recently the Falcon Shield exercises with China. They've hailed a, quote, golden era in UAE-China relations. I think it would be helpful, Mr. Secretary, if you could provide, if you haven't already, and I don't think you have, if the administration could transmit the text of the agreement with the UAE, including the side letters and security annexes to Congress before any licenses are issued. Can you commit to doing that?
I'll just follow whatever the rules of the State Department are. I'd be happy to go over it with you privately, but if you want it to be public, I'll just let the State Department decide how they play those things. That's for them to decide, not me.
Yeah, I think it would hopefully allay some concerns, and I have some very big concerns about the agreement as I currently understand it, but I look forward to seeing it. I just want to point out that the Republican-led Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party said last year about a much smaller deal that was contemplated by the previous administration involving UAE, and I'm quoting from that Republican-led Select Committee, quote, "An agreement of this significance must be properly vetted by both Congress and the executive branch." They also called on the National Intelligence Council to provide Congress with an official assessment of the risks posed by the deal between Microsoft and G42. And they went on to say only once the agreement has received this level of scrutiny should the U.S. government allow it to move forward. Do you think that was good advice from the Republican-led Select Committee, Mr.
I don't know what the topic they were addressing was, but
Well,
this was done in the whole of the administration, talking through it, and it's not a legally binding commitment. It's a framework on which to pursue things.
I understand that. I think the concern is that we make sure that we lock down the terms, at least that we understand the terms, or Congress has some information about the terms as we go forward. That's not unreasonable, is it?
No, as I said, I'd be glad to go over it with you, but if it's that you want me to transmit it, I think the State Department would have to say that's okay, and that's just their prerogative.
Understood. Quick question on the Patent Office. And I agree with Senator Kuhn's comments and yours as well about the importance of the Patent Office. I've also been concerned about DOJ getting access to unpublished patent applications.
That's not happening.
No, not happening.
No, that's
Okay.
just no, and I gave a little laugh of no. You
Okay.
heard all that.
So
Okay.
you can provide 100% assurance
No.
that that's not happening. Okay.
100%. No.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
problem.
I appreciate that because that would be obviously of great concern. So look, I look forward to the chance to get together. There are lots of statements you've made over time. I'm not going to take the time today to interrogate you about them all. Although I do want to ask you this one question. I assume after yesterday, you're no longer advocating people buy Tesla stock.
It was on Jesse Waters. He showed arsonists burning cars and attacking a company. Then he showed Tim Walz literally attacking Elon Musk's stock, not the man, not the product, literally his stock. And I just thought, a terrorist attack on a great American stock seemed to require a response from me. And that's why
I understand, Mr. Secretary. I think probably you would agree that Secretary of Commerce probably should not often be offering suggestions on stock purchases, but I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go through some of these other statements today. I do want to end, and I'm going to pass it over to the chairman where I started. I do hope that at least from our experience so far in the first 4 months, when I say ours, I'm speaking at least for the Democrats on the committee, that we can hit the reset button with you and the Department of Commerce. And I would welcome the chance to sit down with you and go over all of these issues because we've got a budget to deal with. We hope that we can resolve it. I'm going to be working in good faith with the chairman. So can we get together and go over a number of these issues I've raised and some that I haven't?
Be my pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
I think you've been truthful to that last sentence. It'll be my pleasure.
Why not?
Mr. Secretary, just a couple of wrap-up things. First, I've been involved in trying to make sure the United States is prepared for foreign visitors to our country, particularly with the FIFA and the soccer tournaments that are approaching quickly.
Huge.
The U.S. Olympics is in Los Angeles.
Huge.
We have great opportunity to showcase our country. And I want to make sure that the Department of Commerce is interested and pursuing opportunities to make sure that the visitors are eligible and able, those who are eligible to be here are here. We need help with the State Department in regard to visas. Communities need infrastructure support. But I just want to highlight that the tourism and travel industry is something that is important and should be very important to the Secretary of Commerce. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in that regard.
It is. In ITA, we have a group dedicated to tourism. And I mean, this is a wow, right? We've got the club championship, right? The FIFA Club Championship, FIFA World Cup, the Olympics, and our 250th anniversary. I mean, this is, if there's ever a time for America to shine, it's right now. We've got to take out all the stops and make sure we are putting our best foot forward. And I'm happy to work with you. We've got to make sure the Department of Homeland Security and the State Department issue those visas. And we've got to make sure our infrastructure is there and the tourism experience is second to none. And I'm happy to work together with you on that purpose, because this is just a great opportunity for America.
Mr. Secretary, Senator Klobuchar and I co-chair the Senate Travel Tourism Caucus. I'm not exactly sure what the name of it is, but this is a highlight for us.
Oh, I testified that I'm not good at names either, right? I know the content.
I know
but
the
the
content.
The title,
I know
I'm
the
not
title
really,
of the caucus. But we need to make certain that we are prepared, and those days are fast approaching. And I look forward to working with you to make sure that's the case. And working with ITA, President Trump appointed a interagency organization to coordinate activities within the administration. I think that's very useful, and I hope that they're hard at work. You responded to, I'm going to see if I can get you to respond to a way that Senator Peters would not think you're saying no to a question that you might be saying yes to. And that is, he and I've introduced legislation, he's agreed to co-sponsor, that would permanently designate the National Weather Service employees, that certain category of employees, as essential and therefore not subject to a hiring freeze. They are essential under the law, as I understand it today. If we don't do our job as a Congress and get a appropriation bill done and government shut down, they're still working. They're essential. And my understanding is that you're supportive of that legislation, and I'm trying to have you say that my understanding is correct.
I am, of course, supportive of keeping our meteorologists and our hydrologists protected. But I think it's important that we spend some time that you understand how inefficient we do things, and that if we did it more efficiently, then we may not need so many, or be, because we have them sort of put out in the field, they could be centralized. And I just like you to understand that, and we'll work together on that so you understand it, and we'll do that together. But I, of course, am supportive of your macro topic for sure.
And I meant to preface my question to you by a lead-in that would have said, understanding that we need to utilize new technologies and update our National Weather Service.
Way to go.
In the meantime, we need these people at work.
For sure.
And then perhaps finally, we worked with Ambassador Greer on an issue of Chinese-owned ships and fees for their dockage in the United States.
Yes.
And from a Kansas perspective, but from an American perspective, so much agricultural produce is shipped abroad. Senator Murray indicated she's an export state, a trade state. Kansas, airplanes, aviation,
Of course.
agriculture, and the concern that we were trying to address, and Ambassador Greer, I think, was very helpful in understanding of the circumstance. But absolutely, we want to have American-built ships transporting our goods around the globe.
First, we have to make some.
We have to make some, and that's the
That'd be
problem.
good.
You've already hit on my point. In the meantime, we can't punish those agriculture producers and ag companies who export our ag products around the globe because they can't yet get an American ship. So cart and horse, once again, would you commit to me that you'll be helpful to that cause in making sure that we don't damage agricultural exports while we take the steps necessary to, over hopefully a short period of time, move our country in the direction of manufacturing ships again?
Be my pleasure.
Thank you. Mr. Secretary, it's my common practice to give the witness, I hate to do this because you might actually take advantage of it, which is the opportunity to correct, to set the record straight on something you said, wish you to expand upon. I just want to give you the last 60 seconds to say anything that you'd like to say to make certain we understand a point that you were trying to make.
No, I just want to thank you for the respect, the demeanor, the way this whole hearing was arranged. I appreciate it. I appreciate you both. And I want to say thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I do want to join on behalf of all of my colleagues and indicate that this committee, this subcommittee, and the full committee needs information from the Department of Commerce, and particularly by law, the department is required to provide us with FY25 spend plan, which we need and want. And I'm hoping that you'll commit that we will see it soon. And I'll ask you that question. And also, we of course are lacking the details of the president's budget, and we're hopeful that that is provided to us as quickly as possible. Can you commit to providing us with the spend plan and the budgetary information just as soon as the budget is finalized?
Well, my understanding is we filed that which was required by the CR with precision, but I'm happy to work with your office if there's more information you'd like or need. Let's go over it together and we'll try to sort that out.
Okay. If you'd take the word spend plan back to your staff and ask if they could find where that is and give it to me, that'd be
Okay.
a wonderful outcome.
I hear you.
With that, we're going to conclude the hearing. And there's magic words I need to say. With no further questions, senators may submit additional questions for the subcommittee's official hearing record. And we request you, Mr. Secretary, to respond to those additional questions that would be provided in writing within 30 days. The subcommittee, after thanking you for your presence, is adjourned.
Thank you.